is that she really is a force. In other words, she's, as long as I've known Jane, she's always been moving.
At 89, Robert Redford finally lifts the veil on one of Hollywood's most closely guarded secrets. Behind those piercing blue eyes and that magnetic screen presence lies a complex, hidden history, a romantic journey spanning decades and crossing paths with some of the most iconic actresses of all time. For years, whispers surrounded Redford's connections, but the full story has never been told until now. This is a story of passion, intellect, and raw chemistry. It's about the women who captured not just his attention, but his heart, mind, and body. It's about moments so fleeting yet so intense that they left a lasting mark on one of Hollywood's most legendary figures. And today, you will discover the 7 actresses who shaped his world in ways never revealed before. Prepare to see Redford's filmography in a completely new light, and prepare to be stunned. Are you ready to uncover the untold stories behind the man whose charm has mesmerized generations? Let's begin. Faye Dunaway. The name alone evokes power, beauty, and a relentless force of ambition. In the early 1970s, Hollywood was buzzing with energy, and Dunaway had just cemented her status as a leading star with Bonnie and Clyde. When Robert Redford first encountered her, it was like 2 celestial bodies colliding, immediate, electric, and unforgettable. Their connection wasn't forged on the screen, but in the halls of Hollywood, backstage at awards shows, and through the networks of mutual friends who whispered about the unmistakable chemistry radiating between them. Redford, riding the wave of international fame from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, found himself drawn to Dunaway's fierce intelligence, her fearlessness, and her ability to challenge him in ways few could. She wasn't just beautiful, she was brilliant, ambitious, and magnetic. Insiders say the moments they shared were intense, short flashes of connection that hinted at something deeper than professional courtesy, something rare that neither could fully act upon given their rising careers and competing ambitions. Then came Jane Fonda, a woman whose presence was felt not just in Hollywood, but in the very heart of social change. By the mid-1970s, Fonda and Redford crossed paths at a time when both were using their celebrity for activism, pushing boundaries and speaking on issues that mattered deeply to them. Their attraction wasn't only physical, it was intellectual, emotional, rooted in a shared passion for making a difference in the world. Private conversations, intense debates about art, life, and politics, these were the spaces where their bond truly grew. Though brief, their connection left a lasting impact, blending admiration, respect, and undeniable chemistry into a story few knew existed. Even now, decades later, the echoes of those interactions linger. The memory of 2 iconic stars recognizing something extraordinary in each other, knowing that the demands of fame and personal ambition would always come first, yet still finding moments to connect meaningfully. These were the women who ignited sparks in Robert Redford's life, sparks that, though fleeting, shaped the man behind the legend. Barbra Streisand, a name synonymous with power, voice, and presence. When Redford first encountered her, he was immediately captivated, not just by her talent, but by her uncompromising spirit. Streisand was Hollywood royalty, a woman who refused to bend to anyone or anything, whose voice could move mountains, and whose presence commanded attention in every room. The famous chemistry scene in The Way We Were wasn't merely scripted, it was born from something deeply real. On set, insiders observed stolen glances, conversations lingering longer than necessary, a subtle electricity that charged the air around them. It wasn't just attraction, it was two extraordinary talents recognizing a rare connection. And then Audrey Hepburn. Elegance, grace, intelligence. Hepburn embodied it all. Her presence transcended physical beauty. She carried a sophistication and humanity that few could match. When Redford met her in Europe during the 1970s, it was immediate, visceral. They shared deep, meaningful conversations about art, life, and purpose. Their connection was simultaneously intellectual and romantic, unfolding gradually into something more intimate, emotionally profound, and intensely private. Unlike other encounters, Redford's time with Hepburn was marked by discretion, respect, and a depth that few in Hollywood could ever achieve. Away from the relentless scrutiny of fame, they were two peers finding understanding in a world obsessed with spectacle. Both Streisand and Hepburn left indelible marks on Redford's life, one a testament to fiery talent and uncompromising independence, the other a quiet, profound intimacy that spoke to mutual understanding and respect. Each relationship revealed a different facet of Redford's heart, the passion and intensity that stirred with Streisand, and the refined, tender connection he experienced with Hepburn, Jane Fonda. By the mid-1970s, she had become more than an actress. She was a voice for a change. Activism and artistry intertwined in her life, and when Redford crossed paths with her, it wasn't merely attraction that sparked. It was a meeting of minds and purpose. They were drawn together by shared values, a commitment to progressive causes, and a fearless willingness to speak out against injustice. Private moments at gatherings in Los Angeles or away from the spotlight revealed a chemistry that blended intellectual engagement with genuine personal admiration. Their connection was intense, real, and fueled by the belief that they could make a difference together, yet the demands of their respective careers and personal lives meant their bond remained fleeting, remembered for its depth rather than its duration. Then came Ava Gardner, already a legend when Redford encountered her in the early 1980s. Gardner's magnetism hadn't waned with time. It was raw, sophisticated, and undeniable. They were drawn to each other by mutual recognition, two people who had lived fully under the relentless glare of fame and understood the profound costs that came with it. Their conversations were rich with stories of a life lived on one's own terms, tales of passion, resilience, and uncompromising authenticity. The spark between them was immediate and electric, but restrained, marked by the quiet confidence of two experienced individuals who didn't need to display their connection for the world to see. Instead, it existed in private moments, conversations that went beyond pleasantries, and a shared appreciation for each other's remarkable journeys. For Redford, Gardner represented wisdom, experience, and an understanding of fame's price. For Gardner, Redford offered respect, intellect, and the comfort of being truly seen. Their time together was a reminder that genuine connection can transcend age, fame, and circumstance, intimate, meaningful, and profoundly private. Grace Kelly, before she became the Princess of Monaco, she was one of Hollywood's most luminous stars. When Redford met her in the early 1950s at a charity event, both were ascending talents with charisma and presence that drew attention effortlessly. Their connection was immediate, intellectual, romantic, and undeniable. Those who witnessed their interactions recall a spark that seemed destined, natural, and rare. They spent significant moments together, discovering a mutual admiration for each other's craft and ambitions. Yet the pressures of a conservative era, studio demands, and Kelly's own complex romantic landscape meant that their connection had to remain discreet. It was a bond treated with respect, honor, and profound privacy, a fleeting chapter that left an enduring impression on Redford's memory. Decades later, Diana, Princess of Wales, entered Redford's life under entirely different circumstances. In the mid-1980s, their paths crossed at a charity event in London. Despite their different worlds, Hollywood and royalty, the chemistry was instant and intense. For Diana, Redford represented genuine connection beyond the gilded cage of public life. For Redford, Diana was intelligence, compassion, and the emerging self-determination of a remarkable woman navigating immense scrutiny. Their interactions remained scrupulously private, shielded by trusted confidants, yet those close to them could see the depth of mutual understanding. It wasn't a public romance, but a profound meeting of hearts and minds, a private exchange between two extraordinary individuals who valued authenticity over a spectacle. Even after Diana's tragic death, Redford preserved the memory with utmost respect, a testimony to the profound significance of their encounters. Grace Kelly and Diana, two women from very different worlds, both left indelible marks on Redford's life, one through fleeting elegance and Hollywood sophistication, the other through quiet strength, intelligence, and compassion, each connection shaping him in ways unseen by the public. Across nearly 7 decades in Hollywood, Robert Redford's life was marked not only by cinematic triumphs, but also by these profound private connections. Faye Dunaway, Jane Fonda, Barbara Streisand, Audrey Hepburn, Ava Gardner, Grace Kelly, and Diana, Princess of Wales, each shaped his heart, mind, and experiences in ways the public could never fully know. Some relationships were brief yet electric, others subtle but intellectually and emotionally deep. They were encounters that revealed the man behind the screen, thoughtful, respectful, drawn to intelligence and strength, and capable of profound intimacy while honoring discretion. These 7 women were more than mere romantic interludes. They were reflections of different eras, different values, and different facets of life itself. With each, Redford learned, shared, and experienced aspects of love, admiration, and connection that transcended fame and public attention. They shaped his perception of partnership, respect, and emotional authenticity. Today, for the first time, Redford allows the world a glimpse into these intimate chapters of his life. Understanding these connections adds a new layer to his legacy, reminding us that behind the icon lies a man who cherished depth, privacy, and true human connection. His story is a testament to love, respect, and